Okay, so here we go on this one. We can see what's happening from term to term. This time, they're multiplying by 5, notice. Multiplying by 5. So they're not adding 5 or some other number. They're multiplying by 5, right? So we'll do that here. Multiply by 5. This would be 1, 2, 5, 0, 0. And now they want us to jump to the 13th term and then finally to the nth term. So how do we do it? Well, we got to see the pattern. Where do you see the pattern? You got to write it out. So this is a 4. And this is a 4 times 5, right? And then the next one is 4 times 5 times 5. And then the next one is 4 times 5 times 5 times 5, etc. Do you see what's happening in the pattern? We can write that like this. We can say that's 4 times 5 to the second power, can't we? Remember how powers mean the numbers multiplied by itself that many times? Or 4 times 5 to the third power. This is 4 times 5 to the first power. Right? And do you see that, how that's working? So it's actually powers, because powers mean the number multiplied by itself that many times, doesn't it? So now we look for the connection between what? Between the term number and that. Term number and that. Term number and that. Do you see the connection? Do you see what's happening there? To see how that power, you always have 4 times 5 to the power, and the power is always 1 lower than the term number, isn't it? See that pattern? Okay, so then let's use it to our advantage. So what's it going to be for 13 over here? It's going to be 4 times 5 to the 12th power, isn't it? See how it's 1 lower? See how the power, again, is always 1 lower than the term number. Okay, so we've got to crank that out on our calculator. Do you know how to do that on your calculator? 4 times 5, and you got to hit the power button. The power button's either an up arrow, it's an X to the box on some calculators, or an X to the Y on other calculators. One of those kind of buttons is your power button. Depends on your calculator. So you got to go 4 times 5 to the power of 12, whatever your power button is. You'll get something crazy big. Yeah, I'm not even going to write it. Well, I'll write it over here. I'm getting 976562500. Crazy big number. So that's what you got to put. That's going to be the 13th term. And then finally, we've got to get the nth term. So I'm going to do the same exact pattern, meaning what? It's 4 times 5 to the n minus 1. Do you see the connection? This and this has to be 1 lower, doesn't it? Do you see how the power has to be, oh, I already made that connection, didn't I? The power has to be 1 lower than the term number, right? So when the term was 13, the power was 12. When the term was 4, the power was 3. When the term was 3, the power was 2. So when the term is n, the power is n minus 1, 1 lower. So that's what we put in that box right there. How do you write that? It goes 4, and then you got to hit the times, which is like the asterisk, which is above the 8. That's a shift 8. It's above the 8. So 4 times 5. Let's see, let me back up on that. 4 times 5 to the power of n minus 1. You probably have to put parentheses around the n minus 1. I can't remember exactly. Maybe not. 4 times 5 to the power. And the asterisk comes from a shift 8, right? And the shift 6 is the up arrow. So 4 times 5 to the power of n minus 1, and I do believe you need parentheses around the n minus 1. I might be wrong, but it's always safe to do that. And so there it is. There's the pattern on number 2.